Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking into what seems like a rapidly unfolding situation.
Definitely. It involves the Houthis, Israel, and the U.S.
Exactly. We've gathered some recent reports, and our goal really is to try and understand the key developments.
And the motivations behind them, right?
Yeah.
Plus the potential, broader impact.
Right. We've got details on Houthi missile attacks, significant U.S. military actions in Yemen.
And political shifts, too, inside the Yemeni government.
Yeah, within the internationally recognized government. So quite a bit to unpack. Okay, let's get into it.
What jumps out first, I think, is this connection being drawn between the Gaza conflict and, well, everything happening miles away.
In the Red Sea in Yemen, yeah, it suggests things are more interconnected than they might seem at first glance.
A wider theater, perhaps?
Precisely. And our sources point to a real uptick in Houthi actions aimed at Israel.
Like the recent missile launches?
Yeah, 3 launches in just 24 hours. Israel confirmed they intercepted them, but still, air raid sirens had to be activated.
And the Houthis aren't hiding it. They've openly claimed responsibility.
Their spokesperson, Yahya Saree, was quite explicit, said it's a direct response to Israel's operations in Gaza.
Mm-hmm. The stated motive is solidarity with Palestinians.
Citing Israeli actions in Gaza, but also, interestingly, the occupied West Bank.
It paints a specific picture. And the timing. You mentioned they paused attacks during the ceasefire earlier.
That's what the report suggests, yeah. They halted things during the Gaza ceasefire.
But then resumed. Seems tied to reports about aid being blocked around early March.
And then the conflict restarting more fully.
Right. Framing it that way, solidarity. It could help them gain regional support.
And maybe make the international response more complicated?
Possibly. It adds another layer.
So, while the Houthis are applying this external pressure, the U.S. seems to be stepping up its own actions, but inside Yemen.
A big escalation, it sounds like. Reports mention near-daily U.S. airstrikes.
Yeah, daily. And specific locations are being mentioned.
Places like Qamran Island and parts of Hodeidah.
Exactly. The As Salif district in Hodeidah Port City and also Ras Isa oil port. Multiple strikes reported there.
These are strategically important areas, not random targets.
No. And the scale. One report described these U.S. operations as the most extensive military operations in the Middle East since President Donald Trump assumed office in January.
Wow. That's quite a statement. It gives a real sense of the intensity now.
It really does.
And the U.S. justification, what are they saying?
They claim they're striking Houthi positions. That's the official line.
Okay. But this increase in military action, it seems to be happening alongside some very concerning reports.
About civilian casualties, yeah. This is where it gets particularly troubling.
Right. Increased strikes often carry that risk.
Reports detail a worrying rise in civilian deaths from these U.S. strikes. Air Wars, the monitoring group, they estimated.
What were their numbers?
For March alone, somewhere between 27 and 55 civilian deaths. And they expect April could be even higher.
That's significant.
Yeah.
And are there other sources? We're also seeing claims directly from Houthi sources. One alleged a single strike killed at least 68 African migrants.
68? That's devastating, if true.
Mm-hmm. And reports of other casualties near the capital as well.
It does make you wonder, given the U.S. focus on, precision, what's leading to these reported losses?
That's a critical question, and it adds another layer of complexity because Yemen itself is facing political instability.
Right, you mentioned shifts in the government.
Yes, the Prime Minister of the internationally recognized government, Ahmed Awad bin Mubarak, he resigned.
The government that most countries recognize, even if they don't control the whole country.
Correct, that's the one.
And why did he resign? What were the stated reasons?
The official line was persistent challenges and inability to reshuffle his cabinet, that sort of thing.
But reports suggest there might be more to it, like internal politics.
Seems likely. Some reports point to a power struggle underneath it all.
With who?
With the presidential council leader, Rashad al-Alimi. That's suggested as a major factor. Interesting. So what happened immediately after he resigned?
It moved fast. The presidential council appointed the finance minister, Salem Salih bin Brake, as the new PM.
And bin Mubarak. What about him?
He was named an advisor to the council, which is an interesting move, perhaps.
It certainly suggests complex dynamics at play within that government structure.
Definitely. And thinking about bin Mubarak himself, his history is tied up in this conflict too, isn't it?
Right. He gained prominence after being abducted by the Houthis back in 2015.
So his whole career, really, is deeply intertwined with the Yemeni war.
Absolutely. It just highlights how long and complex this has all been.
And we should also just briefly touch on the international recognition aspect again.
Good point. the Houthis or Ansar Allah.
They aren't recognized by most of the international community.
But that lack of recognition doesn't change the reality on the ground, does it?
Not at all. They control huge parts of Yemen. The capital, Sana'a, areas near Saudi Arabia, they're a major power there.
Which shapes everything, really. The conflict, the responses, everything.
Okay, so if we try to pull this together, what are the main takeaways?
Well, first, this clear escalation from the Houthis targeting Israel.
Framed explicitly as a response to Gaza.
Right. Then second, the significant ramp-up of U.S. military action inside Yemen.
But that comes with these deeply worrying reports about civilian casualties.
Exactly. And third, this political instability bubbling up within the internationally recognized Yemeni government, the PM's resignation.
It all feels very connected. The Houthi link to Gaza, the U.S. response. It highlights how regional conflicts can bleed into each other.
Definitely. And the U.S. justification targeting Houthis needs to be viewed alongside those casualty reports. It raises big questions.
Questions about impact, effectiveness, unintended consequences.
And the political turmoil just adds another layer of uncertainty onto an already volatile situation.
So quite a few unanswered questions remain then.
For sure. Like, what are the Houthis' long-term goals here? Is it just solidarity?
Or are there broader geopolitical aims we're not seeing yet?
And the U.S. involvement, this increased level.
Yeah.
How will that play out regionally?
Could it lead to further escalation, draw others in?
It's possible. Unintended consequences are always a risk in these situations.
And finally, the political instability within Yemen's recognized government. What does that mean for the conflict itself?
Does it hinder peace efforts? Does it change internal power dynamics significantly?
Lots to consider.
Ultimately, I think what's clear is just how intricate this all is. You've got the military actions, the political shifts, the stated reasons.
Such a complex web.
Absolutely. And understanding these different layers, how they connect, that's really crucial if we want to grasp where this might be heading.
And what the impact could be, not just in Yemen, but across the wider region.
Yeah. It's a multifaceted situation, definitely one to keep a close eye on. It could have far-reaching consequences.